Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being part of these monthly sales catch-ups every month for the past year. We felt like it was a great opportunity for us to brainstorm on strategies and meet partners. It also enabled us to gain some additional revenue in working with our partners and highlight some of their products. So I know that it was a little bit out of the norm from what we're used to, especially since we weren't able to have the sales meeting in 2020 or in 2021, but I'm excited about what's to come. So as Jenny mentioned, sadly, this is going to be our last call for the year. I know December is going to be all sorts of fun and excitement for all of us. So we decided that this was going to be the last one. And I wanted to really start where we started, which was, if you recall, we talked about setting up the year the right way. And Johanna is an amazing person, peer. I'm a total fangirl, and I'm really excited that she is here gracing us with some of her time. She's also the president of Promo Kitchen, as well as has like a full-time job with Halo as vice president of sales. So she's really fancy, really amazing, but I have the pleasure of getting to meet with her every other week throughout the month in these different mastermind classes that we're in. And when I leave, her knowledge and advice is just remarkable. It's very down to earth. I might not always like what she has to say, but I try and follow it. And then when I don't, it rears its head again and she says, I told you so. So I'm really excited to be joined with my good friend, Joe, and to have TVG be part of all of this amazing wisdom. So thank you, Joe, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for saying all those nice things. Wow, I wish my kids were listening and my husband. I feel lucky to get to know Sarah, and whenever she is like giving us input on these masterminds, I'm like taking notes and listening, because what a successful book of business she's built and what a team she's built. So thank you for being a great leader in our industry. And yes, as Sarah mentioned, I am with Halo. We were acquired. I'm actually with Access, but we were acquired by Halo last January, right before the world fell apart. So it's been a really interesting time. I've also been around with Access for 16 years, so it's still a transition for me to say I'm with Halo, just because it's been such a big transition. But you know, mergers and acquisitions are the new deal. I'm a native New Yorker, so I talk fast. And if anyone needs me to slow down, please wave your hands. I will try, but I always say I talk fast and think faster, and most people can keep up. Yeah, so I am the VP of Sales at Halo. I am the chair of Promo Kitchen, which is one of my proudest accomplishments. First woman chair for Promo Kitchen. We're celebrating 10 years this year. I'll stop being chair in 2023 and just serve on the board. I'm the chair of the PPAI DEI Task Force. So many acronyms in this industry. That's been really fun. But my most proud moment is being the class mom for Chicago Public Schools first grade. So that keeps me really challenged and fun. And I do love to be the goofy mom. So yeah, all good things.
I love it. Well, I know how busy you are, and you're pulled in multiple directions, as are most of the salespeople and team members that are on the call today. So as we're hitting November, which really blows my mind, we're on the final stretch of this insane year. I don't know about you, but it's been a very frustrating year, in the sense that I see so much opportunity that I'm just like dying to sink my teeth around it. But then it's so frustrating because I feel like it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I'm doing the cha-cha every day. So as we're rounding out this final quarter, what are some of the practices that you've put into place to help manage not only yourself mentally, but then also to handle this final push sales-wise to get you through the end of 2021?
Yeah, I mean, if everyone has a pen, I will spell this out. It's just the thing that saves me every single night. It's vodka.
Hey, that's on my diet, so I can definitely take down that recipe.
Add a little seltzer, what have you. That's on you, boo, but that gets me through this crazy time. It has definitely been a crazy, interesting year. And I think someone said it best when they said they're just trying to get over 2020, and now it's almost 2022. I think for you guys as distributors and in this role, it's been a lot of things getting semi back to normal, and then the Delta variant. And so again, like she said, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, just a lot of dancing. And now we're about to hit the year end. I've been just trying to stay motivated by keeping my team engaged, you guys are doing the right thing by attending something like this, learning all the things. It is so easy to sign up for the webinars, the book, the podcast, and try to listen to things and put them on your calendar and then say, I have a fire to put out. It's time for something else more important. Keep doing this, keep learning things, taking notes. But then I always say, like, what's next? What are you going to implement after that? You know, like Sarah spoke at SKU Camp 2.5 years ago. I heard her. And it's great to walk away from a SKU Camp experience or any type of, event. But what are you doing after that? You know, you took your notes, you networked, you met the people. Are you really taking the time to put the actions in after this speech, after the Common SKU event, after the Vegas mixers? So really try to build that into your business plan, not just attending the events, but the work afterwards, because it does take a little bit of time and consistency. I'm really fortunate. I have a wonderful team. I have a team of 2 women in Chicago who help support me. And we just hired our 3rd person about 2 weeks ago. So we're onboarding him. And truly, it's a lot of check-ins. Obviously, virtual makes that a little easier through, GChat, Teams, all the things, all the Zooms. I'm trying to meet with my team, but just sort of check-ins and how can I help? Our team who is managing the stock issues, the complaints about longer lead times, the issues. I've just sort of had these like come to Jesus talks with them. What can I do to be in the trenches with you? How can I connect with the client? So they don't feel like it's just them dealing with all the, all the work that's really hard. It's the grunt work. I'm in it with them. I'm managing 80 orders right now, taking on projects, so that they feel like the lead is really the lead for them, and saying to them as well, hard moments like, what am I doing that pisses you off right now? And I've had some just really honest talks with my team. I was expecting to like sit back and hear nothing, but they were like, well, this could be fixed and you could do more of this and we need less of this. And so taking some really good feedback from my team and saying, I have notes and things to do and calls to action. And if my team is happy, my clients are happy. And so the more I see that, the more I want to have these really honest conversations with them of what can I do in this moment to make it better? Does that mean you need the afternoon off? Does that mean you need Friday off? Does that mean we should meet for manicures? Does that mean you just want me to take over 10 projects or answer the client for you? Those are fixable things. And although we're stretched for time, I feel when they see I'm in the trenches with them, it does alleviate. So I've been trying to do that more than ever and take on as much as I can. Obviously, it's not sustainable to do that and want to grow a business, but this time of year, I'm in it with them more than ever.
So at this time, are you guys still prospecting through to the end of the year? And I know, one of the things that we talked about in the beginning was just to set up 5 appointments. So focus on 5 appointments per month, do 5 check-ins per week. And then by the time that you've built it, you've already reached out to, so many different clients, you've created so many different specs. And that's kind of how we started the year, was just trying to break out what their day, week, month, and just try and get organized. How is your team doing that? Are you like, Kelly loves this about me. This is one of her favorite things, but I have like an old school calendar and she's like, I'm never using that. I'm only putting it in Outlook. So do you guys have like a joint calendar? Like, how do you track which clients you've reached out to? Do you use a CRM? Like how do you help get yourself organized so that you know who you need to follow up with, and then to be able to create? Because I think for me, as long as I break things down into bite-sized pieces, then I can manage, okay, I'm just going to follow up with 5 people in the morning, and then I'm going to do my quotes or whatever the case may be. So
absolutely.
How do you break it down?
So I'm with Kelly. I need digital. I love notes and sticky notes. I must have like 50 journals going right now, but I love everything. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. And that means digitally. Prospecting is a big one. And so I think I'm going to spend a couple minutes here, but I really want to let anyone know that once you're done watching this, if you want to connect, please find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I would love to share with you a very targeted presentation I did on prospecting that sometimes I watch myself to kick myself in the pants. It is pretty fiery and gives really good tips on prospecting, cold calling, business development. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn, it's free. I will share it with you and send you the video through SKU Camp, a presentation I did. But prospecting, I'll laugh. My team is not on this call, and earmuffs if they were. They have told me at this time of year, stop, please stop bringing on new clients. Let's like really assess who we're working with right now. There are times like I joke with them. I sneakily onboard clients without telling them because I love business development prospecting. My joke in this industry is that Larry Cohen, the owner of Axis, kept me around because I was so vocal about loving prospecting. I just like love the game. So I'll answer this in a couple ways. This year of time of year, I am slowing down on it. If there's people in that have been like in my follow-up consistent loophole of fresh prospects, I'm definitely still following up with them. But it's really important right now, more than ever, to focus on the clients that we have that are spending to make sure they're happy, because the supply chain worries and issues are so bad. If our clients are unhappy, it's going to be really easy for them to call in tandem. So that's business development, whether you like it or not. And so I am trying really, really hard to stay, on top of the current clients, making sure that I'm going above and beyond every single day, more than ever right now, versus trying to bring in a ton of new people, because the supply chain is going to start to pull clients in different directions, like it or not. So that's like my deal right now with prospecting. Anyone that I am onboarding, I'm slowly onboarding them and sort of filling my team in. Throughout the year, I'm prospecting by, literally, I have it next to me. I'm really big on like Crain's. Chicago for me is just like really digestible, not New York Times type of like who's growing in the West Loop, who just went from a WeWork to their own space, who tripled in size, who's got the coolest offices in Chicago, because that's for me like a conversation starter. Who won best places to work. So I'm taking that type of information and learning about current clients. I might say, oh, wow, Coyote Logistics, like, I love that you had coolest offices. Like, your office was so cool when I visited. I'd love to see it again. Or prospecting and leading with that. I was reading about you guys via Crain's. I've saw something on LinkedIn. So for me, I'm prospecting by reading things like Crain's. My joke is like, I'm a mom. My eyes are always open. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. And my eyes are always open in the best of ways. That means, in my home, but also on the streets. Like, are there new banners on the 66 bus going down Chicago Avenue? Like, are there new people advertising in different ways? Who's out there putting them, whose tote bags are being handed outside the subway, or the L, like they call it in Chicago. So I'm always looking for things like that for me to think about who's really rising and being spoken about in Chicago. Even walking around the West Loop, I had dinner there the other night. I was like, oh, that's my client. And sort of looking around what other businesses are around her for referrals. I'm just always keeping my eyes open to that. And it seems basic, but just taking notes on things like that and then building my prospecting list on that. I also tend to like veer towards clients where I actually feel something towards. It would be great for all of us to say, I want to work with American Express just because they're American Express, but what's my tie to American Express? What would make me excited about pitching to them? For me, I like fitness. There's certainly niches that I like. So if I can have like a vetted interest in your industry and what you're doing, it's easier for me to pitch to you, because then I get excited about showing you product. So I'm always keeping that top of mind as well.
So as you're preparing and learning all of the things through Crain's and reaching out, what are some of the things that you do first before I know that you've done the research and then you reach out. How often do you follow up afterwards? How often, how do you keep them top of mind and keep you on top of mind?
Absolutely. So I would say after Crain's and after like I have an idea of who I want to go after, the number one thing is I'm not even going to a client's website. I'm going on their socials. Their socials are such a taste of culture. You'll see, again, I'm very transparent, like Coyote Logistics is a client in Chicago. Through their socials, I get a glimpse of, they did the JP Morgan run every year. Everyone was wearing a t-shirt in front of the lake, great group photo. They do, their picnics in the park. They do their family events. All I see there is swag, but more importantly, culture. So once I've done my research, I am able to like better give a sense of what they're doing. I might actually see their socials and think, wow, they should be doing more. They did blackout day on Instagram, but they don't put anything about DEI work. It gives me an in to have those conversations, sometimes hard conversations. Who's managing your social? Why are you putting DEI at the front of it, but not backing it up? Not only is someone like me that wants their business looking at that, but their potential new hires are looking at that, right? So if I'm Johanna Gottlieb who wants a job there, that's something that's really important to me. I want to see the culture. I don't want to just see images of employees sitting around the lunchroom. I want to see culture. I want to see what they believe in. I want to see if they're acting in on their values. So their social, you guys, is a free way to get a glimpse of what they're doing. It's an opportunity to say, I see you run JP Morgan every year. Did you know that Access manages those t-shirts for JP Morgan every year, domestically and internationally? It's a conversation starter without even trying. So Instagram, I think, is big on that. Facebook is pretty good. LinkedIn obviously is more professional, but I find Instagram for me is a way that I could just get a snap of the way they think and the way they look. And so once I have that, and I've done a little bit of research and feel like I have a sense of their culture, I am definitely sending them something like a self promo. It's certainly not a pen and a journal with my name on it. It is like a 3D dimensional, clunky, thought out mailer that we've come up with over the years. They've been anything from, like, you know, a desktop kit to, you know, I can't give away a secret sauce, but custom packaging, foam cutouts, 3D, something that makes someone. I've had clients and prospects say to me, when you send us things, we are always thinking, what are they going to send me next? Like, they get excited. So my biggest analogy is, how can I make a prospect feel like a kid in a candy store? So that excitement for me is really fun, to send out the packages, send out the mailers, and then, you know, song and dance. Maybe I get their logo. Maybe it's not hard to get a logo. You guys all know it's not hard to vectorize art off the internet. Maybe I get their logo. Maybe I put it in something cool. Maybe I send them virtual. Maybe I send them another self promo. If I know I have Sarah Webb as a decision maker and I have her and I've been sending her the right thing, sending the right person the right thing, I'm going to continue doing that until Sarah makes the meeting with me. So it's song and dance, send, follow up, send, follow up.
Well, this is music to my ears, because this is one of my biggest points of conversation when we're talking with our sales team. It's like, just because you sent the quote doesn't mean that you're going to close the quote. So you send the quote, you follow up, you give them another excuse, you give them some new ideas, and then you continue to follow up. So team, I hope that you're listening. It's not just me. This is a true industry rock star right here, y'all. So talk about, now you've got the meeting. How do you go about preparing? Are you one that brings a lot of samples? Do you come with a presentation? Is it just you and your laptop? Like, talk me through a prospect client meeting that you run.
Yeah, well, so I have to say, this has looked so different, right? Since 2020, it used to be physically go in person, and I would bring enough things that were conversation starters. So we definitely have, I actually always tell clients when I'm meeting with them in person, I'm going to show you something no one's ever shown you before. And I hate to like tell you guys I have this like secret thing, but we do have an approach in this way. We do like certain custom things that I know no one is doing. It's our secret sauce. And so that's really exciting for me to show that. And as well as like these 3D dimensional mailers and examples of how we go to market. And I let them know, honestly, I want you to promote your brand. It's just as important to us. Here's an example of a mailer we sent and the response rate it got and why. So I am trying to bring a couple of case studies, but obviously not be product driven. This initial meeting is usually to get as much information as possible. And I learned this from my mentor, who's Joan Bluestorn Landorf at Access. She's like my life and industry mentor. She is amazing. Watching her in a meeting is like watching a therapy session. Like, it literally is like the client on the couch, just verbal diarrhea of everything they want to hear. She'll ask questions like, Sarah, we're sitting at this table 1 year from now. What needs to look different in your promotional buying 1 year from now than it does today? And it's just these leading questions that Sarah will be like, well, you know, blah, 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 distributor never listens when I tell them my budget's only $30. And it's really frustrating. And I just want someone that sticks to the budget. And you're taking notes. What pisses Sarah off, right? What does she do what is someone doing that's pissing her off? What am I going to do that's not going to piss her off? So you're sort of taking those notes and asking those leading questions. It's not about like, what can we work on first? It's what can we do to get there? Do you have an events calendar so that, Sarah, you don't have to scramble, that I know your event in 3 weeks is coming up and you haven't given me sizing yet. So trying to take things off her plate. It's easy for us to say we're an extension of your marketing team and all the things we all say, but you really have to prove that. You know, what can I take off your plate, Sarah? I joke with clients as well. I always say, it's pretty rare that Sarah's only job is to buy for her company. I realize, Sarah, you wear 1,000 hats. And so let us make the swag part of it easier. We're the experts on this. And they always joke, like, I wish this was my only job. I still had to handle the events and the new hires and the onboarding. And so once you sort of let those guardrails down and let Sarah realize her job might actually get easier by working with me, you'll see there's more of like a flow of information of what she needs.
And I think that's so important, especially right now. I mean, you can feel the frustration in the marketplace. Employees, the labor issues that everybody's having, everybody is just running on fumes. And I think one of the things that I'm noticing is people just want to hear from you. They just want to make sure I've got your order. I've taken care of it. And here's an update. Even if you talked to them 2 days ago, because they don't remember 2 days ago, they remember right now. And so just having that additional level of safety net, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart. I mean, I know, even we're following up way more than we ever did with our factory. So if we are, then I'm sure that our clients are feeling the same way. One of my favorite Joe-isms that you say is, what are you doing different today from yesterday? So Joe, we're at the end of this year. What are you going to do different this year than last year? And then what are you going to do in 2022 different than you did this year?
I love this question. And I'll tell you again, it makes me, sometimes I have to check in with myself on the advice I give others. Because I'm a mom of 2 young girls, structure for anyone that's a parent, structure is so important in the home, especially when they're younger, and daylight savings week and schedules. So for me, structure is super important. There have been times where I feel like I'm running on autopilot like the rest of us. And I've been lately reminded, like, it's okay to get off autopilot. Maybe that means keeping the kids up late, doing the extra fun thing, breaking the rules. We always say rules were meant to be broken. When are we going to break the rules? Break the rules in business, right? It's so easy to say, no, we can't do that. No, it's less than the minimum. No, you find a way, break the rules, stop what you're doing and break the rules for your client. They will notice. Obviously, you don't want them to feel like they should break the rules all the time, but go above and beyond those special moments so that they see you can keep the fun in it. And Jay Baselli and Charity Gibson are reminding me in Promo Kitchen Life, like fun, bring the fun back to things. We are sometimes so on autopilot, get the newsletter out, do the promo chat, run the mentor program, get the webinar, do the mixer. Also, have fun. Do all the things, but honestly, have fun. Like we've been joking lately that we're going to do the mixer in Vegas and have VIPs that donate, perhaps like skip the line, get a chance to skip the line. Let's physically skip the line. Like let's skip into Vegas together. Like let's break the rules and find out a way to do something so differently. It's so silly, but try to be like a kid again. And what would make this fun? Think about in your business, what would make a child smile right now? Make something fun for your clients so they can feel it and for yourself. We are running on autopilot way too much lately, and it's not going to be fun, and your clients are going to feel that. So how can you make your day for yourself fun, for your team? Obviously, there's simple ways with, team outings, lunches, all that stuff, but any moments you can to have fun, try to do it as much as possible and break up that routine.
I love that. I love it. I'm like trying to write all these things down and then trying to keep the questions going. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing my head is spinning because I'm trying to incorporate, as we shared, this year has just been intense. And so how do you press the reset button and then get over the end of this year, this last 6-8 months but then finishing very strong as well. My other favorite Joe-ism is that you say your clients don't owe you anything. And that is one of the hard truths that I keep in my brain over and over again. And it's so easy right now to make up all of the excuses. It's out of stock and all the things that we said. Can you tell the story about how you have flipped the script with your clients, either during the last 2 years of all of this crazy, or had them see things from a different perspective, or how you've had to solve a client problem, keeping this thought in your own head about your clients don't owe you anything?
Yeah. So Sarah, you're so fun. I have some Joe-isms. I write a blog for Promo Kitchen, and so you can check that out at Promo Kitchen. One is called Flipping the Script. One is Your Client Doesn't Owe You, SHIT. And I think the most recent one is Are You Done? And that was just literally a rant that I was like, I'm so done. I'm done with the stock. I'm done with the labor. I'm done. And it literally is a way to think about what you're doing and what you can do. So promokitchen.org if you would like to see those blogs and sign up for our newsletter. And I will plug them more in a second. But flipping the script has been interesting. I think in some ways more than ever right now, it's a really exciting time for new business development because fortunately and unfortunately, people, the client is done with In Tandem, right? They're like, Sarah just can't find the solution. Her team isn't getting back to me fast enough. People are looking. And again, your client doesn't owe you anything. They have a right to look, just like you went from GenLine to leads to logo mark to hit. You're looking, your clients are looking. It's something like you might have the most loyal client ever and the best relationship. Someone else is going in and someone else is looking. So always don't live in fear, but know that like you're going to always have to romance your client. For us, we've actually had some clients come back over this past year, and so us really take this hard step of like, do we let them back in? How do we service them differently? I don't want to make the same mistake. So flipping the script completely, do we need to start a Trello board for you to keep more organized? Do you want to start taking all the communications to Slack or via email? Because some of our clients think, you guys know this is a very email heavy industry. So really flipping the script. What are we going to do completely different? That's not going to land us in the same place 2 years ago when we lost the contract. What's it going to take? What can we do? And then it's sort of on the client too, right? If they need to make those changes with you, they're going to need to make the changes with you. It just can't be you. And so we've had a few clients come back because of frustrations with other distributors and really trying to go over above and beyond and doing things differently. That again, that might mean a Trello board. You guys know I might know I'm really big on Pinterest, showing some Pinterest boards of what the work our clients are doing is, as well as just thinking about different ways to communicate. Again, this virtual world changed everything up. So maybe you felt like you weren't seeing your client enough before and not able to get in the plane or get in the car or do the things or spend one day traveling for meetings. That is out the window. I can see 4 clients today in Zooms, and people think people are over Zoom. If you're doing it effectively, flip the script. Like show them something on Zoom that is fun, creative. Maybe it's batch and bodega and their 1 piece minimum. Maybe it's their batches, something so fun that their eyes light up while you're talking to them. Opportunities, I wouldn't have been able to show 4 clients back-to-back batch samples in person just because of like produce and the way that things might go raw or not be fresh. You have opportunities virtually, dig in and figure out what they are. Maybe it's showing them the way that you guys redid your website. Maybe it's taking a chance to talk about a rebranding opportunity you did for another client and how it went and what you learned. The client wanted a gradient in their logo and they were set on the gradient and they did the gradient, and now there's no way to do it on a sweatshirt, on a hat. So they have to redo the whole logo, and now the print doesn't look like the merch. So any opportunities you had to share what other clients are doing, clients want to hear that. You're the expert to them. You know every single brand out there. So take opportunities from other clients and share them with them visually. Share them this is the things they want to see. They want to break from talking about how they have third quarter loss. They want to see the fun thing and hear the story so that they can go back to their boss and be the expert as well.
Now, being in this industry for 16 plus years, I have no sense that you have any tinge of having the imposter syndrome. I feel like your confidence resonates from start to finish. We have hired 4 new salespeople that are brand new to the industry during this freaking pandemic. And so, when you're talking about a lot of these things, I feel like there's this moment of it's not going to work, I'm too scared, all of these things. So throughout your career, and as you've built your client base and your team and all of this, where was a time that you had to flip your own script from, a woman in sales, a woman in a vice president role, a woman running Promo Kitchen? I mean, there's a lot of things that I know that I would have going through my own head of what the heck am I doing? So I'd love to hear how you've changed that message to yourself.
Well, I really appreciate that I sound overconfident and probably look like I act overconfident. I'm struggling right now. Why do a bunch of people want to hear what I have to say? Who am I? What am I doing that's so amazing? Do I have a good book of business? Yes. Did I have a great year? Yes. I'm no better than you guys. I put my pants on the same way. We are all in this. We're all working our asses off right now more than ever. So imposter syndrome is real. We all feel it. I will say I take a lot of opportunity to learn from other people. The mastermind has been very helpful for me. Being part of Promo Kitchen has helped me learn and grow from peers like Jay Baselli to Jessica Gibbons-Rausch to Dale Denham. Like, I am really lucky, but I'm also taking the time for those volunteer opportunities to learn from them. So I would say any volunteer opportunities in our industry, take advantage of. Is it a time commitment? Yes. But take the time, because those networking opportunities will truly pay off. I've had opportunities where I've had to ask Dale Denham for advice and felt like I could call him and ask. And those opportunities are priceless to me. So if you're feeling like an imposter and feeling like you need to know more, take opportunities to network in volunteer roles. And sorry, I forgot the second part of your question.
As you were building your career, did you have
Yes.
to flip the script in your own head?
I did twice, and I continue to. And the biggest one for me was I was in our New York office for 7 years. I was building my business, and my husband, my now husband, decided to propose and thought we should move to Chicago so he can get his MBA. And that was a really hard decision for me. I left my mom and my sisters in New York, and I went to Chicago and built an office here, built a team. And for me, I knew that would be a pivotal moment for Axis. I knew I was going to put our footprint here and grow the business in the Midwest. That would be taking on a lot, but I knew I could own it. So that was a time where I really flipped the script. It would have been really easy for me to sit in my cubicle in New York and continue to grow the New York business, but I wanted to sort of change things up and be the lead here. The other part that's really just come about in the last 2 years is you guys look at me and see me, and I'm Johanna Gottlieb from New York. And so I'm sure you all assume I'm this loud, pushy Jewish woman. I'm actually a Hispanic woman. My mom was born in Cuba. My father was born in Argentina. I married an amazing Jewish man, so my kids are Jubentinians. But everyone assumes I'm a Jewish. Nothing wrong with that. I actually love being part Jewish with my husband. But what I've done with that is started to like hide it less. I am a proud Hispanic Latin woman in this industry, and you do not see a lot of leading Latin women in this industry. So I'm trying to use that voice more than ever through these DEI initiatives. And so that's something I wish I had done way earlier. I think when I grew up in the 80s, being an immigrant wasn't half as normal as it is now. So I just wanted to be like everyone else. And now I'm like, screw that. I don't want to be like anyone else. I want to be me. And I'm a proud Latin woman. So I'm trying to use that and flipping the script in that way a lot more. One of the things that has been really gratuitous with that is that my clients follow me on social, and with my social, I say all the time, like, you're going to get a picture of me feeding my 2-year-old, or you're going to get a picture of me, showing a promo product through a TikTok. And recently a client from New York reached out and said, we haven't talked in so long. I haven't really been doing a lot, but I want to let you know, I see the things you're putting out on DEI through your socials, and wow, I just didn't know you were connected in that way. And I'd love to talk to you about a project. So you think people aren't looking, and we hear this all the time. There are lurkers that are paying attention. So whatever you're doing, whatever fireside chats and conversations you're having, promote them on your socials. Your clients are paying attention. They want to know, hey, Johanna Gottlieb doesn't know about just products. She knows about DEI as well. And that's a reason to talk to someone. And so I would say those are opportunities lately that I'm trying to flip the script more.
I love it. I love it. So I know that you had this sage advice for yourself. What is some sage advice that you would tell to any of the new salespeople that are listening in today? What's the one thing where you're like, this got me in, this made me figure it out, this helped? I mean, I know there's a lot of things, but like, what's the one thing that you're like, if I didn't do anything or learn anything else, this is the one thing that I would recommend?
In this industry, and it's interesting because I think I tried really hard to work for some people and take a lot in while wanting to grow my business, which meant staying late and doing the extra work. People don't want to do the extra work now. But I constantly tell newbies, and I'm onboarding someone right now, read all the things, go to all the webinars, attend all the trainings, and soak it in and be a sponge and ask the questions. It doesn't, most of them don't cost anything in our industry. You have like Bill and Kirby's podcast. You have Promo Corner doing weekly bites, weekly podcasts. I know Sarah was on one. Jay Batelli does Tacos with Jay. And Promo Kitchen, guys. Promo Kitchen saved me. I knew a little bit about it because Larry Cohen, my boss, was on the board and still is on the board. But about 3 or 4 summers ago, I literally binged all the podcasts, and it gave me such a taste of this industry. I had learned, how leads got started, how one person went from this relationship to a next, what mergers and acquisitions net meant. Promo Kitchen is all volunteer. We have a mentor program where we literally pair suppliers with suppliers and distributors with distributors. We do podcasts about newbies and vets. We did a series called Newbies and Vets, and we took a 20-year veteran and a 2-month veteran person and said, like, tell us like what your tips are, what you need to keep learning. So we're constantly doing things that push the boundaries. We're having conversations that people don't want to have lately around DEI. We have weekly discussions on Promo Chat called on Twitter on Promo Chat with the hashtag Promo Chat. We're doing a webinar next week with Bobby Lehue, guys. Like Bobby Lehue, the art of storytelling. Yeah. Sign up. It's next Thursday at 12 Eastern. So we're providing all these free things for the industry, and I'm seeing so much value in that. And that really, really helped boost my career, because I think for me, it helped me just meet the right people in the industry and really start to want to be like them.
Well, and the connections that we have. I mean, I know when I started in Tandem, David Walker was one of the first people to even give me terms, and I literally I had only spent like $100,000 with him maybe, and he's giving terms and helping me through all of these crazy things. And so many of the suppliers and partners have been with us from the very beginning, a lot of TPG partners. And so again, having those connections and, tying it in, especially through all of this crazy, is such great advice. All right, you guys. Well, those are my questions. What questions do you have for the awesome and talented Miss Johanna?
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
I'm Kelly. I have never met you in person, but we have ridden on Peloton together.
Yes.
You might not have seen me because you were about 3 miles ahead of me. And yeah, she's very, very good. But I'm back at Orange Theory. So I love Promo Kitchen. I think it's the most fascinating thing. What would you recommend to all of us as far as getting more involved with that? Because as you say, it seems to really help you quite a bit with the industry.
Yeah. So to go back to Peloton, if anyone has a Peloton, please add the hashtag promo Peloton to your leaderboard name and then message me and I'll add you to a Facebook group we have. We ride weekly together Thursday and during the week if we can. But I'm not good. I'm just competitive. So Kelly's making me laugh. I'm competitive. But please ride with us. We have so much fun and stay in shape. Promo Kitchen, I'm glad you asked because we actually just put a call out. We're looking for casting call volunteers. We've created sort of succession plan where we have a robust board of about 15 to 20 people. And then we have a sous chef program, which is everyone that helps us with everything from graphics to social to editorial to mentor committees to podcast committees. We have committees about committees. So our sous chefs help run that and our volunteers. So we're always looking to add to that. You guys, we're all running our own businesses. And so they're always busy. We're always looking for people with more hands in the kitchen. So if you want to get involved, it's actually me. Just ask me and we'll set up a call and talk about what the right fit might be for you. We want to make sure it's respectful of your time and the best commitment. The best thing for this I see is people want to get involved and someone will say to me, where can I get involved? And we'll run through everything and talk a little bit about Promo Kitchen. And they'll say, well, I love graphics, but I never get to do it in my 9-to-5 job. And I just always wish I did more of it. So take the opportunity to do something you love with Promo Kitchen and then bring it back to your clients and bring it back to your boss and say, hey, I started using Canva more. Maybe I can help with the website. So any opportunities that you we'll find the right opportunity for you. Don't feel like I'm so good at writing, I should do the blogs. Think about this is a good place for you to push your comfort level and safe. So contact me if you want to be involved in Promo Kitchen.